So because last time people only can tell the north, so all the angle is measured from the north in a clockwise direction one. So this bearing, they tell you this bearing is 72 degrees. Then you see, when there are only 2 digits, they will add a 0 in front also. So bearing always 3 digit with a, if 2 digits start with a 0 in front. Bearing of R from P. R is this point from P. Okay? Then same, it must be measured. The bearing is the angle measured from north until it reaches R. So this 109 is from here until here. Okay? Angle PQR. This one got nothing to do with bearing already. They are just telling you this angle. When I see from the top, there is an angle here that is 39. RQ is 50 meter. Then find bearing of R from Q. So we want the bearing from Q. Hey, where's Jaden? Absent. So from Q, when I want R from Q, so I know this line is the line that I need to end at. But where do I start? From Q, I must know where to start. So from Q, every angle bearing is always measured from the north. So I must add in this north line myself. No. Okay. Then whether it is north from Q, north from P, they will be pointing in the same direction. That's why these two lines are parallel one. Okay. So all the lines pointing to north, they are parallel one. There will be a lot of parallel lines inside your bearing questions. So R from Q means I want to measure from north, until here. So this is the angle that I want to measure. Then yesterday we mentioned also, sometimes it is not easy to find what is this angle. Within this picture itself, there are no information here to tell me what are these angles. So sometimes it is easier to find the other side. Then because whole round is 360, then we minus the other side, we can get this angle. Okay, it happens very frequently in bearing questions. So now, the other side, here is 39. Then if we can find this, we will know this thing is how much. Then the whole round minus this one can give us our answer. So how do I find this? Here, parallel line. So here got a interior angle on parallel line. So this angle plus this angle, interior angle, they must make up 180. Can? So follow so far. All these are just your angles. Interior angle, parallel line. So this plus this is 180. This angle itself is 180 minus 72 equals to 108. If this is 108, this is 39. Together they are 147. So this other side will be 360 minus 147. Follow? Okay? So it is always using what you know to find what you don't know in mathematics. You know this is your bearing, then you use what you are given to try to figure out. Can? Angle RPQ. Angle RPQ. So they want this angle. I want to find this angle. I know this angle. Then I know here is a straight line. Here is 72. Here is 109. And the whole thing is 180. Okay, this whole thing is 180. Here until here is 109. So we also can know here, correct? 180 minus 109. This is 109. This is 180. So here is 71. Yes, 180 minus 109, I will get 71. You all can see or not? Why this is 71? Kai can see or not? Why this is 71? Liwen, can Okay, I wanted to zoom out and make it simpler, so looks like don't need. Then now if I zoom this out, here they tell you this bearing is 72, meaning if I zoom this out, here is 72. Then now I know that here is 71. Then you can find this middle already lor. Because the whole thing is 180. Hey, yeah, you are correct. Can take 109 minus 72 also, then you get this one also. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I slow. Okay, so the answer is 37. Thank you. You can take this big one minus this small one, then you will give you this one. So this one is 71. Length of PQ. Okay, so sometimes when it becomes too much information, too messy, then it is good to just draw. 37, sorry. So when it is getting too messy, too many information, you can just draw out what is required to find your next step. So here is 37, here is 39. You know this is 50, and you want to find PQ. Okay, then it's a triangle. We want to find a side. First, number one, if got right angle, then Pythagoras or Tuakaso. But don't have right angle, then I must be thinking sine rule. Is it possible to use sine rule? Sine rule, I need a pair where I know the angle and the opposite side. So this time, yes, I know this angle, opposite is 50, so I have a pair already. Because in sine rule, A over sine A equals to B over sine B equals to C over sine C. So if I want to use sine rule, I need to have a pair of known values. Okay, then this one, known, 37 and 50. I can put 37 angle here, I can put 50 here, I have one known pair already. Then what I want to find is PQ. Okay, then PQ, if I want to find PQ, I need the opposite angle. Okay, can I find the opposite angle? Yes, because triangle. If I know two of the angles, I can find the last angle already. Okay, so this angle is 180 minus 37 minus 39. 76. 104. Okay, so when I want to find this side, I use sine rule. I will put this side that I don't know on top, because sine rule it can be the angle one on top, it can be the side one on top. They are both the same. But then when I want to find side, it will be better or easier for my solution if I put my side on top. Then what I want to find, I use sine rule, I put my PQ. PQ over the opposite angle sine. So I sine 104. Okay, then I use the known pair. My known pair is 50 facing 37. So I'll put my 50, then my sine 37. Okay, this will make my PQ easiest to solve, because this is a number. I key in calculator, this is a number. This is a number. This is also a number. So if I want to find PQ, I just multiply sine 104 across to the numerator. When I multiply, it will cancel. When I multiply, it will appear here. So I cancel at it look like the sine 104 cross the equal sign. Denominator go to numerator. Then this whole thing I key inside calculator. I get my answer already. Okay so far? Today everyone so quiet one. Try key your calculator. Okay, same 80.614. Then if we round off to 3 significant, it is 80.6 meter. Gabriel, are you okay? Okay, shortest distance from R to PQ. Shortest distance. Whenever we say a shortest distance from a point to a line, R is a point, only one location. PQ, P and Q, when we join P and Q together, it is a line. Okay, so when we have a point to a line, the shortest distance, look here, PQ is a line. R is a point. If I want the shortest distance will definitely make a 90 degrees with the line. Because if this is not 90, means my line, this angle here become bigger, then it is not the shortest already. It becomes a hypotenuse instead. Then if I go this side also, it is no longer shortest. Only when it is 90, it is the shortest side. Okay, so definitely shortest distance means you have a 90 degrees here. Okay, then when they ask you to find shortest distance, they want you to make use of this 90 degrees. And how can I find the shortest distance? If you have a 90 degrees, then your area of triangle must come to mind. Because half base times height can give you this triangle area. So you want to make use of your triangle area to find this shortest distance, or this line that make the 90 degrees. Okay, then can we find the area of this triangle not using the half base times height. We can use, now I know this side, I know this side, and these two sides sandwich this angle, so I can find the area of the triangle using half AB sine C. Half AB sine C. So why I come to use half AB sine C is because when they tell me the shortest distance, I must know that this one link me to using half base times height. Half base times height will find the area of triangle. Then to find the area of triangle, I need to use another way to find, which is half AB sine C. Okay, so whenever they tell you shortest distance, try to link it to area of the triangle. Shortest distance of a point from a line. Okay, so I put a note here. Shortest distance from this thing, you must link it to area of triangle. Half base times height. Okay, then because I want to use the area, so it linked me to use my half AB sine C to find the area of the triangle first. So the important thing is shortest distance from a point to a line, link your thinking to a area of triangle. Okay, then half AB sine C, 80.6 is here. Okay, so if I redraw the triangle out, here is 80.6, here is 50, here is 39. I just put in the useful information there. Okay, can you see that I have two sides sandwiching the angle, so I can use half AB sine C. Okay, A and B is which one, don't matter one. As long as you know A, B are the two sides that sandwich the angle, then you just put in your 80.614. When we are doing working, we try to put in more significant figure. Then your answer will be a bit more accurate. So just now when I answer, I say 80.6, but when I do my working, I use 80.614, which has more significant figure. Then B is 50 given, then my angle is 39, so sine 39. Can? I think this question, the most difficult part is actually linking your shortest distance to know that you need to find area first, because they haven't asked you to find area. Then knowing that you find the area already, go and work it out. Yeah. Times 5 times 50 times 1268.3. Do you all get the same value? Okay, then this H, this is the same triangle. This is the same triangle, but this time round, same triangle, they have the same area, but instead of using the 50 and the 39, the area, same triangle, same area, can also be found by half base times height, and this height 90 degrees, so it is the shortest distance from R to PQ. Okay, so now I know the area already. The area is 1268.3. It is also the same as half times base times height. Half times base times height will give me the area. Then just now I found the same triangle, the area is 1268.3. So I can form this equation. If I form this equation, I solve for h, I know the shortest distance already. So how do I solve? 80.614, sorry, to be more exact. Then simple solving of your equation. This thing is equals to this times h. If I only want h, I just divide both sides by half 80.614. When I divide this away, it will cancel, I'm left with h. So I divide this, that's why it come over here become a division. Because all these were multiplication. Multiplication cross the equal sign become division. Go, go, go. So I get h equals to 31.466. Oh yeah lor. But I round off 3 significant figure, don't have the 6 already. Can? Follow? Yes, Ethan. What are you looking at? Where's your old book? Then? You bought the 3B, but we finished 3B already. I know. And now need 4A. Every time I come here, your screen will be at your timetable. You really need to see your timetable so many times. Every day, man. I don't believe you.
What page?
You take out a piece of paper, try to follow the lesson.
No, it's 7. Oh, still.
Huh?
Still 6. Question.
So, you sort of know this. Sort of knowing no use In the end you must be able to reproduce You must be able to write You must be able to write down all these things that I write You sort of know no use Exam you cannot say I sort of know. Okay? Sort of knowing is a dangerous thing. You think you understand, but then actually when next time you do it, you cannot. Because you must do to know what is the real difficulty that you will face. Okay? Okay, we look at one more, then we go to angle of elevation and depression. Last one. Because angle of elevation, depression will also be using your Tuakaso, will also be using your sine rule, cosine rule. Okay, a ship sails 167 kilometer, bearing 64 from A to B. From A to B. So from A, so the north of A, 64 towards B. Usually people say from B from A, but now they say A to B. So you must know it is starting from A. It then sails 95 kilometer, bearing of 330 from B to C. So from B, there is a north, there is a 330, then it sails 95 kilometers. Find angle A, B, C. Okay? Able to find angle ABC? ABC is this angle. Eh? Did I skip question 8?
You did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very different one.
Let me see which one nicer. Which one nicer to do? Okay, we do question 8 lah. Okay. On a large field, Alan walks from A to B, then B to C, then back to A. Bearing of C from A is 143. Find the bearing of A from C. A from C. So now we need to go to C. From C, so from C we need to draw a north.
So is this question 8?
Yeah, this is question 8 Sorry
It's cancelled so many times.
Okay. So A from C, I have this line, AC already. Then the angle must be measured from the north until it reaches this line. And it must be from the clockwise direction. So the angle actually goes like this until it reaches here. So the angle that I want is over here, turn until this AC. This is the bearing of A from C. Then by the same idea, can you all know what is this big angle? There is no information on the big side, so we find the small side first.
7. Wait,
7.
Wait, are you talking about the outside angle or inside?
Okay, this outside angle, I don't have information of angles anywhere here. So it is difficult for me to find what is this angle. But this smaller angle is easier to find because I can make use of this given angle to find this unknown angle. Then after that I can find the big angle already.
Oh,
Okay?
so
What is the property that we will use if I want to use 143 to find this angle? Yes, very good. Kai Ying say already interior angle, because here parallel. Okay, so there is a C shape here. This C shape interior angle 143. So this one must be 180 minus 143 because they will add up to 180. Can, Misha? Okay. So 37. But 37 is not the answer. Okay? The bearing is this one. Bearing is this outside one. So when one whole round is 360, this bearing will be 360 minus 37. Can? Gabriel, or too easy for you? Too easy for you. Why you look so bored? Can Then we look at the next question. Angle BAC. Angle BAC is here. The angles that I know are here, here, here. Can they help me find this angle? How? Are there any property, anything that can help me find this one?
properties. Go.
Don't have, right? Don't have? So we must be looking at the triangle already.
Okay.
Then in a triangle, I don't know any of the sides, but I don't know any of the angles, but I know all three of the sides. Okay, so for triangle, don't have 90 degrees, not Pythagoras. Don't know any sides, not sine rule, because sine rule need a pair of side and the angle. So no angle at all. The only possibility to using this triangle to find my angle is to use cosine rule. Okay, so the thinking is this angle, no right angle triangle, so cannot be Pythagoras, cannot be Tuakaso. Okay, then I start to think, can it be sine rule? But sine rule, I need a pair of side and angle. But in this triangle, I don't have any angle. So I don't have a known pair of side and angle. So I also cannot sine rule already. Also cannot sine rule. So the last one is only can use cosine rule.
Keep saying cosine rule, then this time I say stop it.
Okay, so your cosine rule, it will be given to you. Whenever you need to use cosine rule, go to the formula. They will tell you a square equals to b square plus c square. It actually looks a bit like Pythagoras theorem, except that you need to minus 2bc cosine a. Okay, so the difficulty of using cosine rule, disappear already. A square equals to b square plus c square. Okay, so you don't need to memorize cosine rule. So the difficult part of using cosine rule is what value put into which one. Which of the side is A, which of the side is B, which of the side is C, which of the angle is the A, this cosine of A. So in this case, I want to find angle BAC. This is the only angle that I am interested in.
Focus in class.
Hey, this one, pay attention. How to use your cosine rule. After this, okay? So the difficult part is fitting my angles and side into this cosine rule. So in this case, the angle, this one is the most important. I want this angle. And then in this, in this formula, there is only one place to put angle, here. Okay? So this angle what I want is BAC. Just now I see wrongly already. Not this angle, this angle. Okay? So BAC, I want the angle. So my A square, B square, C square, I don't know also. I must first know that I'm going to put my angle BAC here. Hello. Okay? Then from this, if angle BAC is A, then what is opposite the angle must be the small a. This is the only thing that is important. This angle opposite, if I put this angle as A, this opposite side must be this small a. So when I filling it, I will fill this as 1, 2, 1. Okay? Then in cosine rule, only this A and the big A is important. The other two sides, they can be either one. B can be 78, C can be 66, or B can be 66, C can be 78. Doesn't matter already.
She keep threatening teacher. She's trying to deport me back.
No, you are the one finding me.
I told you, I took a piece of chicken from me.
It's not even rich.
Am I cooked?
Okay, so we have to first identify which is the angle. Then from the angle, the side opposite the angle is the 1 to 1. Is this one. A corresponds to the big A. So when we see this formula, we must know this small a corresponds to this big A. Then your B and C actually not so important. They are the other two sides.
So do we need to type that inside?
Then you try to simplify things before you type lor.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So 121 square 14641, 78 square 6084, 66 square 4356, minus 2 times 78 times 66, 10296 cosine this angle BAC. So we can call it angle big A lah. Never mind one. Then it comes to your simplifying of your equation. How will I simplify? What I want to solve is A. I want to find what is this angle. So I want this whole term to be positive as much as possible. So I will move this whole term to the left. When I move it to the left, I will have 10296 cosine A. 6084 plus 4356. When I add them together, 6084 plus 4356 equals to 10440. Okay? This thing become 10440. Then my 14641, it was on the left. I want it to be on the right because I'm solving equation. All my terms with the unknown one side, all the numbers on the other side. So this 14641 come over here become negative. Okay, then I can simplify. 10440 minus 14641 is negative 4201. Then my left, something times cosine A. This means multiply. Nothing in between means multiply. So 10296 times cosine A. I don't want the 10296. I only want my cosine A. So I have to divide it over. Then finally, I want cosine A. Sorry, I want A. I don't want cosine A. I need to cosine inverse here. Cosine inverse of cosine A, I can cancel away the cosine. That's why it looks like my cosine come over here become cosine inverse. Negative of 4201 over 10296. Then this one I can press calculator already. Cosine inverse of negative 4201 over 10296. Then your calculator will tell you the angle.
So long.
Okay. 114.08. 114.1. Okay? So that is how we find this angle is 114.1.
114, right?
114.1.
How come I won't say 11? Oh, round up, sorry. Forgot.
Then finally, bearing of B from A. B is here from A. So from the north of A, turn this 143 already, turn this 114.1, that is the bearing. So this, the bearing of B from A is adding these two angles. Okay? That one we don't go through already lah. Okay, Shaura, you need to go toilet already, right? Okay, after that we start on the next topic. Angle of elevation and depression. Go, 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 go. Come back. We start at 9:30 lah. Okay? We have until what time? 9:45. Okay, 15 minutes.
That's the job. No, the other one.
We move on. Angle of
Let's go.
elevation and depression.
The 1.5.
Okay? The biggest difference, Reagan, Eunice,
What page is that?
page
Page 11.
11. The biggest difference between hello, hello. The biggest difference between bearings and angle of depression is from where we see the angle. Just now, bearings is we see from the top. We see the world from the top. Then there is a north. Okay. Now angle of elevation and depression, we are seeing from the side. Okay. So from the side view. So this one is like, for example, why I cannot write? For example, this is me. Okay? Then you are actually looking at someone's side view. Okay? Then all your angle of elevation, depression is measured against horizontal. Means something that is parallel to the floor. So if I'm looking upward that time, my eyes look upward, then this going up is called angle of hello. Going upward is called the angle of elevation. So if I add a arrow here, this upward is elevation. Then if I'm looking downwards from the side, looking downwards, anything measured against the horizontal, then this 49 degree going downwards is called your angle of depression. Okay? This one, your textbook put the angle of elevation and the depression together. That's why I use my eye as an example. But most of the time, they are talking about buildings. So, let's say I have a building over here. Then, if someone is like 20 meters away, then he is looking up, or then he's looking upward at this top of the building. Then we will call this angle of elevation. It is measured against the horizontal. This angle here is the angle of elevation. Okay? Then if someone on the top of the building, we want to say this top of the building, there is maybe a line that is tied to the ground. Then we want to say the angle of depression. The angle of depression will be measured from the horizontal. So it is this angle that is going downwards. This is the angle of depression. Okay? So depression, as the word suggests, down. It go downward. Okay, elevation is going up, so it is here is called the elevation when it goes upwards, measuring this angle. Can? Okay, so all your angle properties still apply. Most of the time we will be using Tuakaso. Okay, so let us take a look at this example first. Angle of elevation, first one, the top one. Angle of elevation of the top of the building. Top of the building is here from the point A. So T from A, the angle of elevation, they want you to know the angle is this angle here. Okay, this is the angle of elevation. Then your triangle property will apply. Here, vertically up from the ground is always a 90 degrees. Then here is 58, here is 90, here is 90 minus 58. So the first one is 42 degree. Okay? Then the angle of depression of the point A from the top. So from the top until A, they want the angle of depression. But you must know that it is not talking about this 58. Okay? We are talking about measuring from the horizontal. So there is this horizontal line. Your depression is this angle from T here, the horizontal going downwards. So they actually want you to find this angle. This downward is the angle of depression. Can? Then
I guess.
horizontal is parallel to the floor one. Horizontal is parallel to the floor. Meaning here and here is a parallel line. So if I want to find the angle of depression, this angle of depression is exactly the same as this angle of elevation. Okay, there's a Z over there. So your angle of depression is also 42. Okay? Then how do we find the height of the building? Height of the building is this TB over here. Okay? Then we have a right angle triangle. So under this topic, there are a lot of right angle triangle one. So under right angle triangle, what do I use? It is either Pythagoras or Tuakaso. Got right angle triangle. So the easiest will be these two. So Pythagoras, I need to know one side and another side. If I want to know this, I need to know this. But now I don't know this. What I know is, I know this angle. I know this angle. I know this side. I can use this angle and this side to find this side. Because with respect to this angle, my 140 is the opposite. My TB is touching the angle, so it is the adjacent. Okay? The longest side is always called the hypotenuse. But the opposite and the adjacent depends on which angle I'm looking at. If I'm looking at this angle, 140 is the opposite. BT is the adjacent. ADJ, sorry. Then I want to use my opposite to find my adjacent. Opposite and adjacent, so they are linked by tangent. T, toa. So I must use the tangent of this angle. So I use the tangent of the angle is 58 equals to opposite over adjacent. So equals to 140 over TB. Then I want to find TB, I need to make TB the subject. Making TB the subject means TB by itself on one side. But TB must be a numerator. And now TB is denominator. I don't want TB to be denominator, I want to multiply it across. When I multiply it across, it will become TB multiply tangent 58 equals to 140. Then I only want TB, so I divide tangent 58. Then all these are numbers. I just press calculator, I can get the answer already. 140 divided by tangent 58. $87.482 or roughly 87.5 meter. Okay, Ken? Hey, Ashton is back, but Ethan disappeared. You got see Ethan anywhere or not? Outside. Why is he outside? Madam Chang's class. Okay, question 1. Next page. Page 13. In the diagram, a man is facing a wall. Later must ask Ethan to go and face the wall. Okay? Then write down the angle that represents the angle of elevation of the top of the wall from the man's head. So the man's head is here. The top of the wall is here. Can you all tell that the angle of elevation is actually this? Because it is measured against the horizontal. So this angle B is like that ma. So your angle B is your angle of elevation already. So part A is asking you this answer, angle B. Angle of depression of the man's head from the top of the wall. Top of the wall is here, going to the man's head. Then the angle of depression must be measured against the horizontal. So it is the angle C and not the angle D. Okay? Elevation, depression is all measured against the horizontal. Can? Like that only. I want you to identify. Okay. Your questions that you will face is more likely like question 2 like that. A car is parked 150 meters away from a building. AB is the building, AB is the height. Okay, then we can take that when they tell us it's a building, a building is normally built 90 degrees to the ground one. Okay, and seldom we have buildings that are not straight, not going upwards, not vertical. So buildings here usually is 90 degrees. Then A and C are on the same horizontal level. Find the distance BC. Find BC. So now we have a right angle triangle. Finding a side. What is the first thing that you all need to think about? Right angle triangle. Pythagoras. Okay? Or Tuakaso. Got right angle means these two only. So to find the distance BC, this is a right angle triangle. BC is the longer side because it is opposite the 90 degrees. So the longest side square is always equals to the two shorter side square and added together. Ethan, ask you to come back 9:30, you come back 9:44. Is it? You go pangsai in Madam Chang's class? Ah?
I was there for a while.
Okay, so if I want to find BC, BC is the square root of 60 square plus 150 square. So although this one is a new chapter, but actually it is all making use of your Pythagoras theorem, making use of your sine rule, cosine rule. Because we have a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle, first thing to come to mind is Pythagoras, then Tuakaso. Finding sides, finding angle is all Pythagoras and Tuakaso when you have right angle. Okay? Try B and C at home. Then try question 3 as well. Then when we come back, we go through. Okay? Once you know the idea, what is elevation, what is depression, should be able to do one.